Learn how to enhance your thinking from a real mastermind. This guide is based on latest scientific insights in neuroscience and psychology. You will discover how to develop Sherlock's infallible mental quickness, his penetrating reasoning, skills in accurate observation and logical deduction. We will explain how to get Holmes' mindset, his methods of deduction and his general thinking style. To improve deductive skills, you first need to understand that the brain contains two systems that govern our thinking and decision-making. The first of these systems is reflexive and emotional, a compulsive system that requires little conscious thought. Let's call it System Watson. This is because conscious thought needs energy, so our brains transform most of our thoughts into routines and habits that are less mentally expensive. However, the good news is that the brain has a second system, let's call it System Holmes. It means having mindful, attentive and deliberative thinking process. In addition to System Watson, this system is more efficient, logical and accurate, but it consumes more energy. Basically, this system represents what psychologists call mindfulness. It means being present in the now and maintaining a sharp awareness of thoughts and actions. Many studies show that practice and persistence are more important than inborn abilities. Some psychologists describe the effects of practice as expert knowledge. We succeed not because of our natural capacity but because we have practiced intensively for countless hours. In other words, becoming a better thinker is not about innate talent, but is a matter of how much work you are willing to put in. First thing, when confronted with a problem to be solved or a decision to make, take a moment to break. Problem solving is not about quickness, but about accuracy. Pausing before the beginning is important preparation for the process, as it brings you to an ideal starting position. While you pause to reflect, you should not only become aware of yourself and the environment, but also decide on the goal that you want to achieve. Once you've turned on your rational mind and framed your goals, the next step is precise observation. To observe accurately, we must develop an attentive mind. And we can do this by becoming what scientists call passive observers. Here, being passive means doing nothing else but observing. In other words, actively observing but remaining passive toward all other activities. The next step is the creative generating. Here we use our imagination to produce many different ways and options. But how exactly can you kickstart your creative imagination? One method is called distancing, and it involves stepping away from the challenge and giving your mind the space it needs. Holmes' favorite distancing activities are smoking a pipe, playing the violin and attending musical concerts. After pausing, observation and creativity, it's time to enter the next phase in the problem-solving process, deduction. Deduction relies on the principle that all things in a particular group have the same rules. For example, if everyone in the conference room has won a prize, and Tom is in the conference room, then we know that Tom is a prize winner. While in the deduction stage, be reasonable and resist the impulse to oversimplify the process. Be ever alert, vigilant, ready to apply your strategy to the circumstances and learn from previous mistakes. Enroll someone to assist you in this learning process. Sherlock, for example, often explains his thoughts to Watson, which lets Holmes reflect on his own reasoning and gives Watson an opportunity to challenge him. Let's sum up the main ideas. Distinguish Sherlock and Watson systems. Get expert knowledge by practicing. Use breaks, set your goals, observe accurately, be creative. Understand the deduction process, avoid oversimplifying and find a partner. If you want to go deeper in mastering your mental skills to Sherlock level, the book Mastermind by Maria Konnikova is strongly recommended for you. The link is in the description. Thank you for watching. Like this video to let us know if you want more guides like this, subscribe and turn your notification on, so you won't miss next videos. See you next time.